universe have a beginning? If so, how did it happen? Did the Big Bang really happen? Will there be a big crunch? Will it expand forever or recollapse? To this day, cosmologists are still trying to answer these questions. One thing we know for sure is that our universe is getting bigger and bigger every day. This discovery was made in the 1920s by astronomer Edwin Hubble with the biggest telescope of his day. Using his telescope, he tracked different galaxies and he noticed something very strange. He noticed that they were redshifting, meaning they were moving away. If you hear a fire truck driving past you on the road, you may notice that the pitch drops as it moves away from you. That's not because the note is actually changing, it's just because the fire truck is moving relative to us. Redshift is very similar to us, as when the light moves away, the color is affected. Different colors have different energies and wavelengths. Blue light has relatively short wavelengths, whereas red light has relatively long wavelengths. If an object is moving away from you, then the light of the wavelength will be stretched out and elongated. Therefore, it moves towards the red end of the spectrum.
Blue wavelengths are shorter and closer together than red wavelengths. So, when Hubble observed the galaxies from his telescope, he noticed that they gave off red light and concluded that as the wavelengths are long, the galaxies must be moving away from us.
If the Earth is at the right end of the spectrum and the arrow represents galaxies, you can see that it moves towards the opposite or the red end of the spectrum as the galaxies move away from the Earth.
Every galaxy that Hubble observed was rushing away from us, and the further the galaxy, the larger the redshift of the light. That means that the galaxies were moving at faster and faster speeds. So, the universe is clearly expanding, and the whole of space is getting larger and larger every day. If our universe is bigger today than it was yesterday, then that means it must have started from one dense core and expanded from there. This phase is commonly known as the Big Bang.
The beginning of our universe is similar to a balloon. When air first filled the balloon, the dense core rapidly expanded. Then the rate of expansion began to slow down.
Another real-life example of our expanding universe is the steam escaping a kettle. At the spout, the steam is concentrated, but as the particles of water vapor exit the kettle, they disperse and spread out into the area surrounding it.
Some scientists believe that we're currently in the expansion phase and that a big crunch will occur, which will result in the end of the universe. In physical cosmology, the big crunch is one possible scenario for the ultimate fate of the universe, in which the expansion of space eventually stops, reverses, and recollapses. This will ultimately cause one mega black hole, and eventually restarting a new phase of the Big Bang. This idea of the Big Bang and the Big Crunch intertwines with the cyclic theory that suggests the constant and eternal contraction and expansion of the universe. This means that when the cycle of the Big Crunch ends, the cycle of the Big Bang restarts. This idea of the Big Crunch originates in the idea that gravity will eventually pull all matter of the universe into one space until everything collapses with really high intensity of heat. A real-life example of this would be a souffle that rises as it heats up and collapses as it cools. Also, all black holes that already exist will combine and create one mega black hole that pulls everything in the universe closed together.
So the closing of a drawstring bag can be compared to the universal contraction theory of the Big Crunch, where the mega black hole seals the universe shut.